Hey everybody, this is the Mage of Ages and I'm back with another episode of Player Tested. Before we get to today's video, I do want to ask you guys, if you haven't so already, to subscribe to this channel and hit the notification bell so you stay updated on my latest deck profiles, pack openings, vlogs, and all other kinds of Yu-Gi-Oh content I put on this channel. Thanks in advance for your support, and I do want to say thank you to all the people who commented on my top 5 cards to make the November 2018 banlist, Yu-Gi-Oh banlist video. So I'm going to go over those comments right now. Willie says, I want Joker, Double Iris, Monkey Board, and Supreme King Starving Venom to 1, ban Independent Nightingale. Skullcrobat, Joker, and Monkey Board, I wouldn't mind seeing those cards making a comeback. But Double Iris Magician is one of the reasons why Pendulum Magicians were broken in the first place. Searching Your Star Pendulum graph is just way too good. Starving Venom is the reason why Pendulum FCK ever existed. I think Konami is alright with some burn damage, just not a lot. So I think that's the reason why they decided to just ban Starving Venom. And I'm okay with that. Roach says, or Rock, I don't know how to pronounce it, but Roach says, don't touch Mali. I'm sorry, something has to happen to Malicious sooner or later. At least until people stop playing FTKs. And finally, my good friend Joseph said, solid video. I see your reasoning behind Goldstark, but Thunder Dragons can be easily countered or stopped. I would suggest Armageddon Knight instead. I see your reasoning behind Armageddon Knight anyway. It's a 1-card FTK, specifically the Danger Dark World FTK, so I wouldn't mind seeing Armageddon Knight go. So that's a quick summary of the comments I received on that video. If you guys want to have your thoughts featured in my next video, then be sure to leave those thoughts down in the comments below. But on to today's video. Today I'm going to talk about Maxx. In case you guys don't know what it does, I'm going to read it to you right now. It says, during either player's turn, you can send this card from your hand to the graveyard. This turn, each time your opponent special summons a monster or monsters, immediately draw 1 card. Hard once per turn. The reason why people are talking about this card is because of all of those combo-based restrictive decks out there. Specifically, Goki Nightmare, Dark Warrior Nightmare, and yeah, pretty much the Danger Dark World FTK is out there as well. And you can also count Gem Knight FTK and all those other FTK decks out there. But mainly, I'm going to be talking about Danger Dark World FTK. The reason why people are afraid of Maxx in the first place is because of card advantage. It says so right in the text. Each time your opponent special summons a monster, you immediately draw 1 card. And with all those combo-based decks out there like Nightmares and FTKs, people are just trying to create this big board, and Maxx prevents them from making that big board. I remember back when I returned to the game in February 2017, that was the time when the Zodiac archetype debuted in the TCG. I had no idea what Maxx was by the time I came back into the game, but when I did find out what it did, and I started playing around with it, I realized how degrading it was to play with and against Maxx. And I'm sure there are a lot of people out there who feel the same way. Sure, if Maxx were to ever come back to the TCG, FTK-based decks and Nightmare-based decks will more likely get stifled. But in the case where neither player in a duel is playing either of these decks, and they still open up with Maxx, all they have to do is drop their Maxx against each other during their first turns, and neither player will have the opportunity for either of their decks to flourish. I believe that just like any other card game out there, Yu-Gi-Oh should be about both players getting the opportunity to have their decks do what they do best. That's not to say I'm against all forms of first turn disruption. In fact, I'm fine with Ash Blossom and Effect Veiler and Droll and Lockbird, for example, but for still being legal hand traps. But I think Maxx just slows the game down too much, which is why I think it should just stay banned. Just like a lot of other people would, I like to compare Maxx with Shared Ride. This is a quick play spell, and it kind of works in the same way. In case you guys don't know what it does, it reads, after this card resolves, each time your opponent adds a card or cards from their deck or graveyard to the hand this turn with a card effect, except by drawing them, you immediately draw 1 card for each card effect. Hard once per turn. The distinct advantage that Maxx has over Shared Ride is that it can be activated during either player's turn when the player opposing it does not know that it's coming. That being said, Shared Ride is a quick play spell, and so if you open up with Shared Ride but your opponent gets the first turn, then you'd have to wait until your turn to set it, and then wait until your opponent's second turn to activate it to truly benefit off of it. By the time your opponent's second turn comes around, he or she will have very likely established this giant board, and you just missed your opportunity to benefit off of Shared Ride. That's why people have this love-hate relationship with Maxx. It's disruption and card advantage rolled into one, yet it's very degenerate and just prevents people from actually enjoying the game. That being said, if we're to ever come back to the TCG, I think Maxx C will do more harm than it will do good. Now, Maxx C as a viable solution to the FTK conundrum, I would like to think of it as adding fuel to the fire. I would also like to think of Maxx C as a vulture. Let's say that you're out there exploring in the wilderness and you come across a rattlesnake. You don't want it to bite you, you don't want it to threaten you in any way possible, but then a vulture comes by and just claws that rattlesnake to death. While you're glad that that rattlesnake is no longer a threat to you, you still have that vulture to avoid. I hope you guys understand what I'm getting at here. If Maxx C were to ever come back to the TCG, sure, it can stop FTKs like the Danger Dark World FTK. It can also stop Nightmare-based decks and other Link Span decks. But then again, you have to realize that anybody can play Maxx C if we're to ever come back. And it will just end up being another threat. It will be a repeat of pretty much any other given format in which Maxx C was legal. But I'm going to leave that up to you guys. What do you guys think about Maxx C? Do you think it should come back? Do you think it should stay banned? Do you think Maxx C will do more harm, or do you think it will do more good to the game? Leave your thoughts down in the comments below, and they might be featured in my next video. In the meantime, thank you all so much for watching this episode of Player Tested, everybody. If you guys enjoyed this video and you want to help support the channel, then be sure to hit that like button, comment below what other Yu-Gi-Oh videos you guys would like to see, and of course, subscribe and ring the notification bell so you stay updated on my latest Yu-Gi-Oh videos. Thanks for tuning in, everybody, and I hope to see you again.